Thanks for coming to j&ntravels podcast with your hosts, John and Nancy.
Hi.
We will discuss everything travel, including cruising, Disney World, other general travel, snowbirding tips, trivia, and other fun things. So today, Nancy, in our first segment, we are going to discuss long-term lodging in Florida.
Okay.
We are the epitome right now of long-term lodging in Florida. We have identified ourselves now as snowbirds. First year.
Always wanted to be a snowbird.
I know. It's very nice, too. Trying to drag more people down with us.
I know.
So the first year we went down for 3 months. The second year, last year, we went down for 3 months. This year we're hoping to go down for 4 months.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because we get back here and we were very disappointed how cold it was still back here in April.
It was cold. Well, yeah, we got back the end of March. It was cold.
The way we've been approaching this, I know there's a lot of other ways. If you know someone that owns a place, you could rent. If you could go through a realtor, I guess, in some cases and rent. But the way we've dealt with the process of booking the place is by using Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's another competitive organization called Vrbo.
Yeah.
We have not used Vrbo yet, but just going through Vrbo, I noticed that it's basically the same, the way it works. It does have less of an inventory, and it does charge more, it seems to me. So we have stuck with Airbnb. So we haven't much success. The very first year, we booked 3 separate condos, a month each, through Airbnb.
That's true.
Last year, we booked 3 separate condos for a month each through Airbnb. And this year, we're looking at doing 4 months through Airbnb. So let's talk about, I guess, a little bit of the process, right? What we think about. First part of it is the deal. How you're going to do it. You get online. The things that are used for Airbnb is a rental rate set by the owner, and then they add taxes and they add a fee for Airbnb's cut, and there's a cleaning fee.
There's a cleaning fee, yeah.
Right. A lot of people get turned off and think these costs are very high, and I have done a lot of comparative shopping, even with dealing with some owners one-on-one at certain resorts. You can go through the owners directly, and the price is not that different. You know, I'm sure if you work a deal with an owner and you've been going to a place, or you know the person who owns it, you can work yourselves a nice deal. But I haven't noticed that in our searching yet.
Okay.
If we ever do, then we'll share it, obviously. Yeah. The other thing I noticed is if you do it, since we're going long term, we're talking long term, we're not talking 1 week here. If you do 28 days or more, you tend to get a discount. And that can be anywhere from nothing, sometimes they don't give it, to, I think one I'm looking at now, you get almost a $2,000 a month discount.
That's a substantial discount.
It's a very substantial, especially if you're doing 4 months.
Right.
So that's something to think about. If you're thinking about going 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks, you might want to just extend that to that 28 days. You can compare both prices online.
Yeah.
And see how much it will save you. There are places I have booked that you don't save anything. So that's the first thing about the finances you're putting out there. The other thing is, I think it varies on the time of year you go. We go in January through, well, this year will be April, but usually it was through March. That tends to, even though that's considered snowbird season, that tends to be the lower one that I found. It starts increasing in costs as you get from, January was always the cheapest, February was a little more, March was a little more. I haven't really booked anything for April yet, so I don't know how high that goes and where that stands. I do notice sometimes in the fall, when kids are in school, that people that will go down for a month or two and it's cheaper. Holidays, of course, are higher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the summer's higher, which is the worst time, worst time I'd want to be down there. Right?
I don't care for Florida in the summer. It's too hot. We've been there. We've been to Disney World in August. That was really hot.
Yeah, and anything, right? I mean, you'd be living down at the pool, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just swim a lot.
Right. But we tend to like to do stuff outdoors and, stuff like hikes and pickleball, stuff like that. It gets very hot if you're trying the 90-degree weather.
Yeah.
Humid weather down there.
I like it 75 or 82.
Which, when we were getting the weather, I think people were saying it was a high year, but we were getting basically 70 to 80s the whole time we were
it was
down there.
perfect. That's
this
my
fall.
kind of weather, and no humidity.
Right. So that's the best time to go. If you're looking for a snowbirding, it's January through April. But there are other times of year that it's considered off season. Location of the resort. Okay, now we have been hanging out in the Orlando, Kissimmee area because right now we've been having a lot to do with Disney and Give Kids the World and other things in that area. So we've been down there. We plan on the future, maybe experimenting and going to other parts of Florida.
Yeah, I'd like to go near the ocean. That's something I think I'd really enjoy being close to the ocean.
Really what we have done is drawn a line across the state.
Yeah.
And from Orlando down, it seems to be warm and comfortable weather for the winter. If you go north of Orlando, you can usually get some resorts for cheaper, but it's cold. We had friends that were up there, and,
Yeah, it was 10 degrees
and they were wearing
colder.
winter coats. Yeah,
10 degrees colder than Orlando.
right. So if you're getting 65 in Orlando on a day, 55 north of Orlando.
Yeah,
So that's a part of the case too. Is are you willing to just look and at stuff, or if you actually want to swim? I haven't heard anyone yet that's enjoys swimming in the ocean north of Orlando yet.
not that temperature.
No, and we've looked at both the East Coast and West Coast there. So that's something you're going to make a decision if you like an area or what area you want to go to. But our rule of thumb is Orlando South is warm enough for us to enjoy the winter time. The other thing is what you want. Like I mentioned, if you want the ocean, you're in a certain part of Florida. You're up in the Panhandle or you're over in Cocoa Beach. If you're Disney, you're going to be in the area we're in, Kissimmee or Orlando. If you like SeaWorld, if you want Universal, you're going to be even a little bit more specific. You might be in Orlando, Kissimmee, but you're going to be a little bit north there so that you're a 15-minute drive to the park. So, and then there's the Keys, and then there's the two coasts. If you're in the cruising, you're going to decide you want to be closer to the ports. So there's a lot to take into consideration before you actually book something down south. We had friends go down last year, and they went to 3 different parts of Florida just to get a feel of what they might like. And we had done that the first year.
Yeah.
And we're kind of narrowing ourselves down now.
Well, we definitely targeted Orlando because we had a job with Disney, so that was our main reason for targeting Orlando.
And that's our goal this year. After this year, we'll have to sit down and decide exactly what our priority is for next year and what part of Florida we want to go to next year. Important questions you want to ask. And a lot of these don't seem important. They didn't to me until I started asking them. And the one I always like to repeat, it's the number one thing to ask. It seems simple enough.
Is the pool heated?
That's right. Is the pool heated? We've gone from our condo to the pool, and the air was pretty cold.
Yeah.
And we get into the pool, and the pool was warm.
Yeah, it was nice.
So we took a chance.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, there were probably at least half those days that if the pool was not heated, we would not have gone swimming.
Yeah.
So if you're into swimming, and that's one of the reasons you're going down there, make sure the pool is heated. It's surprising how many people try and sell you on the fact that, it's Florida, you don't need a heated pool.
You do.
Yeah, you do in the winter.
You do in the winter, right.
So that's the number one thing that I always think. The other thing in reference to the pool is, how far is it from the pool?
Yeah.
How
far is it?
The condo from the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been too far from the pool in any of the places we stayed. But our rule of thumb between that me and Nancy have is we want it to be within walking distance of our condo. If we have to get in the car to go to the pool, and there are resorts out there you have to get in the car to go to the pool.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Right, you don't want that.
No.
You want to go to the pool and walk back with your towel wrapped around you and back to your condo. So you may want to ask that question too. Exactly how far is the pool from the condo? Something that we didn't think was important till the last couple of years is there a washer dryer in the unit?
Oh, that's so helpful to have one of those. Yeah.
Besides saving you
pack less.
Yeah. And that's what we came up with. Besides saving your money, just in the inconvenience of going to a laundromat,
I know.
you can literally pack for 1 week.
I know,
and then just keep recycling.
I'm a bit of an overpacker, so having a washer and dryer, I can definitely cut back.
Plus, if you're in a place for a week, for a month, you might want to throw the sheets in for a round in the washer dryer too, or the towels or anything like that. So that ended up being more important than we ever thought it would be. So we always get a place now with a washer dryer.
Yeah, and then when you're driving home and you unpack, everything's clean. That's another advantage.
That's a very good point. We didn't realize till this year, actually, when we got home and we opened up our
We got
suitcase,
everything
everything
put
went
away.
back in our drawers.
Yeah, everything was very clean. We put everything away. We unpacked very quickly.
And we were comparing it to the past when we came home and we had bags of, we were just doing loads of
Yeah.
laundry for 2 days.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember those days. Yeah.
So that is important. I think
Yeah.
that is a very valuable feature to have.
And a lot of times in the condo, they give you a starter package, and they give you dishwashing liquid and laundry detergent. So we didn't have to buy any.
Right.
Although we did bring our own, but we didn't have to. We used theirs, and we didn't have to buy
We
it.
always bring ours, but it depends. You're right. There are some you don't even need it.
Yeah.
They were very good about that.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful, and you want to bring some because there are places that won't supply it.
Right. Just to be on the safe side, we just brought it. It didn't take much room. We drove
Right.
down to Florida. We had our car packed, but laundry detergent didn't take much room.
The other huge thing is a full kitchen with
Yeah,
a
that's good.
full fridge.
Yeah, that's important. Full fridge.
We did see a lot of kitchens that look nice and they have what we needed because basically we need a microwave and we need a stove.
Yeah.
An oven helps a lot because we like frozen pizzas a lot. But,
Yeah, we did cook a lot of frozen pizzas. That helped with having the oven there.
but we could
And
get
we
away.
cooked chicken too. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. A couple
basically
meals.
pizza, chicken, hamburger. You know.
But so a stove to us and the microwave is very important. An oven adds to it. But one thing we found that was extremely important is a full fridge.
Yeah.
Some of the places we looked at had what they call an apartment fridge, which is a much smaller fridge.
Yeah.
We used a full fridge. I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
believe that we stocked it up
We did. Yeah.
for the whole time we're down there.
Yeah. Had a lot of stuff.
And this isn't something I would say is urgent, but we did enjoy having an ice machine and
Yeah, we
an
did.
ice maker.
Yeah, that was good for frozen drinks.
Yeah, I mean, we could get away without it, but it was
Yeah,
nice to always
yeah, it was
have an
nice.
ice just constantly
Yeah.
in there.
It
so
was
that,
nice.
So that was a big thing. So you get your washer dryer, you get your full kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing, which we're just starting to realize is more important than we originally thought, is a smart TV.
Oh yeah, that was great having a smart TV in our first condo.
First condo, we had the
I
smart
loved
TV, and we were spoiled. And then we
Yes.
moved into
The second condo.
the second and the third one,
Which
and they
didn't
just
have
had
it.
basic cables.
Yeah.
With basic cables, it's the lowest package they could get. And
Yeah.
it was horrible. They were horrible.
I was a little disappointed because I did watch Hamilton, which I've been wanting to do, and I was excited that we had the Disney Plus. So I watched Hamilton, and I wanted to watch it a second time because you always get more out of it, second time you watch something. But unfortunately, we didn't have the smart TV, our last two condos. So
And the problem was, you look and you say, well, what the heck? You're down in Florida. Why do you need a smart TV? Why do you need TV at all? Well, the thing is, we had a busy day. We would
did.
come home, we'd have a meal, and then we just want to unwind and watch a couple TV shows or a movie or something like that. And you couldn't even get regular TV.
No,
You
it
couldn't
was
get
lousy.
movies. It was terrible. Absolutely
Yeah.
terrible. So now I start asking this year, I've been asking people if they have a smart TV.
Yeah.
Because at least with a smart TV, if everything else is bad, we can get onto like an Amazon Prime or a Netflix or a
Yeah.
Hulu. We can get onto these channels and just watch something
Yeah.
that we enjoy. So that's become more important. You can get away with it if you're going shorter than a month probably. But when you're going for 3 months or 4 months, you want to have
Yeah.
some kind of entertainment at night.
Yeah.
Because the other issue this year with your arm, your broken arm, we
Yeah.
weren't going out at
yeah,
night.
we weren't. I was just
So
going
we
to say that. I was
needed
going to
that.
say we weren't going out at night. I did get tired around 8 o'clock, and that's when we wanted to watch a good show. So
The next thing on our list might be important for you, it might not be. This was not a big deal for us for this year. But you may want to add, Florida has some rules where I was told that unless it's over 4 stories high, a hotel does not have to have an elevator. We did not realize
I
this.
didn't realize that. Yeah,
And we got
didn't
on
realize
a couple resorts that we were on the second floor.
that. Yeah,
Not a big deal.
it wasn't even.
Not
though
a big deal because
you
we're
did-
there a month.
He had to do all the packing because I was unable to.
It became a little more of a hassle because we only had me bringing it up and
Yeah.
down, so a lot more.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But
lift anything.
that might mean if people with a lot of luggage, or when you come back from grocery shopping, you might want that elevator.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal with us, but
No, it
I could
wasn't.
see.
I
I
mean-
think it was, what would you say, over 2 floors. We would definitely want an elevator, correct?
Yeah, I counted that the there were 14 steps to get up to our condo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was second floor.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, the first floor was level with the ground. So really, the second floor was actually a first floor type thing, like you said, just 14 steps.
Yeah, it was only 14 steps.
But we had people, friends of ours, that were on the third floor, and it was kind of a pain for them going up and down.
Yeah.
So that's something you might want to ask. Don't take it for granted that you're going to get an elevator if you have, especially if you have kids. If you have kids going with you and you have a bunch of cool
I
stuff.
know. We were just surprised. I'm like, okay, we're looking around for the elevator, and I'm like, oh, I guess there isn't one.
Right.
Because when we had that condo last year, we were on the third floor, and they had an elevator.
And that's one of the things I noticed, that a lot of these Airbnb and Vrbo owners will just subtly keep out of it, and they won't mention that there's no elevator. So
Yeah, especially if you really need an elevator, that's very important to
right.
ask.
Now another thing was the amenities.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to vary from people. Some of the amenities I put down, we were enjoying pickleball, so it was nice having a pickleball court built right at the place we stayed at.
Yeah.
That was convenient. We'll probably play pickleball when we go back down next year, so it'd be nice to have one. But we really haven't used that as a deciding factor.
No,
we're going to say.
No.
So that's one thing. Another thing is a gym. Now, we keep telling ourselves every place we stay that has gym, and it usually has pretty modern equipment.
Yeah, we just don't.
And we haven't used it. That's something we've got to get in the habit of. And
I would like to get in the habit of using it.
And if you're one of these people that go to the gym every day back home, this is something you're going to want to consider.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, every place we've seen so far has had one. But ask anyways.
Yeah.
An arcade. We never use it. If you have kids, it might be something you want.
Yeah, it might be.
One thing we enjoyed a lot, but we could give or take, is mini golf.
Yeah, I really like mini golf. I like that a lot. It's a plus having it. But
yeah, exactly.
It's not
2 years ago, we had a mini golf, and we must have played. We were there for a month, and we probably played 10 rounds. In the time.
Yeah, we did.
This year, this past winter, we at one of the three places we had a mini golf, and we used that again quite a bit. It was more towards the tail end because of your arm. But,
I was in a splint, so I could do it after I got my cast off and had the splint on. I could play mini golf.
So we have fun with it, but it's not something we have to have.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The other thing you may want to keep in mind, and this is varied from place to place, is things close by. Stores, places to eat.
Hospitals.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking basically walking
I'm
distance.
just kidding. I'm making a joke.
Safe area to take walks. This is important. This is kind of important to us. As silly as it sounds, we went over several times to a Dollar Tree that was in walking distance.
Oh, yeah.
Just to fill the odds and ends we needed to get.
Yeah.
If we had to get in the car every time, that would have been a major pain.
Yeah, that was really close, the Dollar Tree. It was a nice walk, and we could get stuff that we needed. Yeah.
Another place we stayed at, or two places we stayed at, were walking distance to Walmart.
Yeah.
Which was extremely helpful.
Yeah.
So you don't need these, but it sure, especially in Florida with the traffic, you especially don't want to get into your car all the time, I guess I should say. So that made it very convenient on having places nearby. We didn't necessarily go out to, most of our lunches we drove to, but there were restaurants in walking distance if we just wanted to take a walk.
Yeah, there were. Our last condo, there was the Golden Corral we could have walked to. There was Bahama Breeze, I believe.
Yep.
And there was another restaurant, I don't remember the name.
And next year there'll be a... what's that chicken place?
Oh, Chick-fil-A, yeah.
Across the street.
Yeah, they were building a new Chick-fil-A across the street from the condo we stayed at.
So there's definitely places...
And there was McDonald's right across the street, too.
Now, I guess for us it wasn't as big a deal, but we met friends there that had flown in. They were there for over a month.
Yeah, they didn't have a car.
And they didn't have a car. And
it was convenient for them
so
to
they
walk.
would literally walk to these places to eat or to get some odds and end food. So
I think there were 2 steakhouses that were within walking distance. I can't remember the name. I think BJ's might have been one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a steakhouse or a burger joint.
Yeah.
It's a microbrewery type of place.
Right.
But there was plenty of places
plenty
where we stayed.
Restaurants to walk to.
The time before, not so close.
No.
And actually, the 2 places for January and February, it wasn't so close that we could walk the places.
No, you had to drive.
But there again, they were right down the street, too.
Right, they weren't far.
And the last thing we list on when you're going long term is the traffic. If traffic stresses you out, plan accordingly. We were away from traffic in January. When we moved across Kissimmee, we were kind of set back. It wasn't real bad, and you can get out on that road. And
Yeah.
then the extreme was our third place for March. You were on a main road
Oh, yeah, that
that you
was-
had to get out on to go anywhere
I know.
and cross over to get back to the resort. So
Right.
that's something you can do by Googling it or just asking the front desk. If traffic bothers you or you're feeling comfortable with heavy traffic, then don't get a place that's on the major highway. Nancy feels very stressed out with heavy traffic.
Yeah, I
So,
don't like heavy traffic.
it basically eliminated her right off the bat from driving anywhere.
Yeah.
So keep this
Plus,
in mind.
I had my injury anyway, so I couldn't have driven.
Right, but I'm saying generally though.
I know. Generally, I don't drive in heavy traffic. I don't like to.
So I can't think of anything else. There's probably a lot of other things that we didn't cover, but those are the things that we have focused on.
Yeah.
And we will focus on again for the 4 months coming
Yeah.
up in 2024.
We just got so much use out of that pool. It was heated and it was beautiful. And, if you're going to, you want to enjoy yourself, you want to make sure that, you can swim.
Well, it wasn't a major thing for us, but there are people who actually, there's a little tiki hut there which
Yeah.
serves wings and
Yeah.
I don't know if it did burgers or anything,
They might
pizza
have.
it did,
Yeah.
it drinks.
Yeah, drinks.
There are
Yeah.
people that want to have that sitting there. So
They
that's something to
do,
look for
yeah,
too,
but-
because some places we went to in the off season, they weren't open.
Right.
Others,
true.
they are open. So look into that as another factor in what you book.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nance, I guess we'll leave it at that.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed this show. Stay young. Have fun. Bye. Hello, I'm Nancy, and welcome to Nancy's Trivia Time. Today I have 3 travel trivia questions for you, and we'll give the answers at the end of the show. Okay, today's trivia is true or false? The North Pole has land. True or false? The North Pole has land. Okay, the second one is all the horns on Disney Cruise Line ships play the first notes of what song? All the horns on Disney Cruise Line ships play the first notes of what song? And how many happy haunts, ghosts, inhabit the haunted mansion? How many happy haunts or ghosts inhabit the haunted mansion? Hello, I'm Nancy, and welcome to Nancy's Fun Facts. Today I have 5 travel fun facts for you.
So Nancy, I heard you have some fun facts for us today. Could you tell us what those 5 fun facts are?
I have some fun facts on Israel. The Israel Post Office has a special Letters to God department for all the letters arriving in Jerusalem from around the world addressed to God. They are open and placed into the cracks of the Western Wall, or otherwise known as the Wailing Wall, and about 1 million notes are left in the wall every year.
That's incredible. That's like the Santa Claus thing where they send it to the North Pole,
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
Wow.
Israel has 137 beaches, and all of them are beautiful. Mount of Olives is the oldest continuously used cemetery in the world. It has been in use for over 3,000 years.
Okay.
Israel has more museums per capita than any other country in the world, 230 and counting, as a museum dedicated to women is opening soon. I'm glad about that.
That's very interesting that a country like that would do that.
Yeah. And Israel is roughly half the size of Lake Michigan and is bordered by snow peaks on one end and Desert Beach on the other.
Wow. Interesting country.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Today's snowbirding tip. Are you looking for something Disney related, fancy, expensive, or just want to browse and spend a few hours looking at some really nice crystal and stuff like that? Well, go to the Crystal Arts at Disney Springs. They got all sorts of Disney stuff and Disney paintings, Disney pictures, if you're looking for that special thing to bring home with you after a long snowbirding season. Today's segment is from an edited segment from one of our YouTube lives. First question we're going to be dealing with is 3 things to do in Florida.
Free things to do in Florida. There's a lot. We enjoyed our free things that we did in Florida.
So the first question is 3 things to do in Florida, and there's tons of them.
Yeah, there are.
Around here it's basically, you walk a state park or something.
Yeah, we have a lot of beautiful state parks near us that we like to, visit.
But basically that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're going to walk in the woods.
Yeah.
in Florida, we found such a diversity, and we put together a short list ourselves. And if anyone could throw their choices in there, it'd be great. Um, First one we put down was the Sunset Walk at Margaritaville.
Yeah, that was nice.
Now that is an area that has some cute shops
Yeah.
and bars and
Yep.
restaurants, and it's actually outside of the gates of Margaritaville on 192 in Kissimmee.
Hmm.
But they host all sorts of stuff. We went down there and saw a pet show this year.
I loved it. Oh my God, there were so many cute dogs. Yeah, they were walking all over the promenade, and then they had a little booth set up for doggy treats and little items that you can buy for your dogs, like fancy leashes, and they were giving out little ice creams for the dogs.
It was basically just dog walking.
Yeah.
It was a dog watching, I should say, which was the best part.
There were so many dogs. I mean, it was just great.
And they had a few other things in the daytime, but the main attraction is for no charge. They have outdoor concerts and attract. I'm trying to think how days a week. They have a car show, I think, one day a week.
We didn't go to that, but
which
they
is
do
no
have it.
charge. They have bands.
Mhm.
The other thing that we were going to try and go to, but we never made it out, was the St. Patty's Day party.
Yeah, we were going to try to go to that, but we didn't. But yeah, so check out the Margarita, the promenade.
Right, promenade. Now, Billy says the Naval Aviation Museum, is that the one up in the Pensacola area, Billy, near you? I think that's the one he's done some videos on.
Mhm.
And the beaches, yeah, that's something that we take for granted. I think most of the beaches, if not all in Florida, are free.
Mhm.
And up here, you go to a beach, it costs you a pretty penny now to go to a beach in our area. So that is a big value.
That is.
If you're paying. Second thing on our list is what?
Well, are you done talking about free things in Florida?
No.
Oh, the Old Town.
Old Town, I guess I can't really compare it to Margaritaville. It's actually nice. A lot of people don't like it because they call it honky tonk type of thing. But it's got a row, like street rows, that's lots of shops. I also put out a video because that's the cheapest beer we found in all of Florida.
Yeah, and you can walk around with a beer.
You can get an ice cold beer at numerous places there for $2.
Stop in the little shops. I got a cool magnet in one of the shops at Old Town. I hadn't seen that magnet anywhere else, so that was really neat.
They do, and they have a store with all magnets. They have a few novelty places, a nice horse store with horror characters in it.
Right. They have rides, of course. They're carnival rides, but
that's the part I forgot, because we always just do the Old Town part, walk up and down the streets and look in the shops. But there's a whole section. And
they had a car show there, which we did go to. It was cool because I love Camaros and I love Firebirds, and I saw some really neat looking Camaros.
Yeah,
when we went there.
They did it from shop cars. Yeah,
so
they have the amusements, they have that, and then they have the actual Old Town stuff. We tend to try and go in the day because I can imagine that place at night is just crowded as all can be.
I always wanted a Camaro, but never got one. But it was cool seeing all the very unique vintage cars.
So that Old Town's another one. That also is on 192 in Kissimmee, probably about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Another one we came up that I think we just put the video out on was the Free Museum at Osceola.
Well, that was wonderful. We were just taking a walk. We didn't even know about it. We were going to Shingle Creek to walk, but the walking paths were closed due to the hurricane.
Right.
So we crossed the street and we were just taking a walk, and we happened to stumble across this museum, and we went inside, and it was free, and it was really lovely in there. It was quite a good sized museum.
We thought it would be kind of cruddy because it was small. It was part of the Welcome Center. It was actually on 192, but the path we took us into the woods behind it. We just saw it through the woods.
Yeah.
But it was a very cute museum. I mean, it was clean. It was a lot of detailed stuff. Very interesting.
That's where, if you look at our videos, we're sitting in the eagle's nest.
Yes.
I thought that was so cool. They said, how many pounds? I think I want to say 2,000 pounds.
The nest?
The nest.
It
was huge. It was really huge. And we have pictures of both of us sitting in there.
And then segueing from
Not at the same time.
no, someone to take a picture.
I know.
Segueing from the museum was the Shingle Creek that Nancy mentioned. We've eventually gone down there because they have a nice walking path,
They
supposedly
do, yeah.
through the woods where you can actually see wildlife.
Yeah.
But it was closed from a hurricane, and they keep pushing the date back when it's going to reopen again. Hopefully next year when we go, it'll be open.
I hope so. You can rent kayaks there, which is kind of nice, but we didn't do that. I wasn't able to do that with my hand situation. So, but you can. I don't know how much the rentals were. Do you remember? Was it pretty reasonable?
It's funny. You keep pushing the site, but on our video we have the sign of it, and I forget what it costs.
Okay,
but you can check that out.
Check out our videos. But it's a cute area. And
the other one, which we do a lot, and we've been actually taking some people with us, is resort hopping.
Oh, I love resort hopping. Yeah.
Free, you go, you park at one of the resorts. Now they have limited the resorts. There aren't as many that you can park and as you for nothing. Well, park if you're not staying there, I should say.
Yeah, you can get into Boardwalk. We can get into Polynesian. And we got into Port Orleans. Well, that was cool because we got there when they had the Mardi Gras.
The big thing is that if you're going to do the monorail resort, which is our favorite resort hop, is the monorail, they still are not keeping you out of those resorts.
No,
so you get in the Polynesian, the Contemporary, or Grand Floridian Park there.
Yeah, we were happy to get into the Grand Floridian because we saw the decorative Easter eggs. And check out our video for that. They're really pretty. That was amazing. That was they had them displayed for about a month.
Yeah, exactly a month. I think it was. We did,
and that was free.
We do park usually at the Polynesian because we love that hotel. Walk around the hotel, maybe get a Dole Whip, which is Disney's version of a Slushy Belly, and then we jump on the monorail and go right on the monorail. We always stop in front of Magic Kingdom, get some pictures with the Main Street, the entrance to Disney in the background.
Yeah, that's nice there.
But that's a great way to spend the day.
And we walked around the Contemporary, and I think we saw, was it this year that we saw the gingerbread castle there? Oh, they had a simulated gingerbread castle. Yeah, so that was good too. Yeah. But there's lots to see, and there's always some of the hotel. And I've noticed that Disney has a lot of unannounced specials, like that Easter one thing was not publicized anyway. The gingerbread house was not publicized that wasn't,
anyway.
Yeah, we were surprised. So, we were just walking around. They had a sign to see the gingerbread house on the 4th floor.
They didn't even make it easy. It wasn't like the other resorts had a sign go over and visit it.
Right, it didn't.
We just happened to walk across it.
Yeah, it was just cool seeing it. It was Cinderella's castle and gingerbread.
And the resort hopping, our favorite is always the monorail, but we've done it where we've gone, like Nancy said, to Port Orleans and taken the boat to Disney Springs and back to Saratoga Springs. And
this year going to New Orleans was great because we hit it right with the Mardi Gras, and there was lots of activities that day. They even had Princess Tiana there.
Right.
That was really cool.
With Sherry there.
Yep.
And so that was a lot of fun. And the other one, we'll take the boat and go over to Fort Wilderness.
Yeah, that's nice too.
And explore that. So there's a lot of resort hopping you can do. You can kill several days doing that.
Yeah, and also while you're resort hopping, you can ride the Skyliner, which is free.
Right. And that's one of the things it's almost like a ride in itself. You have the Skyliner, you have the boats, different boats, and the monorail.
Yeah, they're all fun rides.
Oh, Billy, I need to do resort hopping. Never done it.
Oh, it's fun.
Busy. Billy, if you ever come to the area, I mean, and we get together again, we should just do a day of that. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's a good tour guide.
And it's relaxing too.
It is.
You go at your own pace. You don't have to go the fast pace. Next one on our list is La Front Park and Kissimmee. Is that what it's called?
Lakeland, I think it's called.
Oh, okay. Lakeland Front Park. That is a huge public park.
Huge. Yeah.
They have banned. I don't know if they've banned concerts. We didn't see any of those, but the band stands there.
Right.
The interesting thing about this, again, it's one on our video, is they have a walkway right along. It's just a bay. It's a lake, right? It's an inlet bay with the water right below the. So you sit on the wall, and all of a sudden, Nancy looked down, and there was an 8-foot alligator.
I know. My gosh.
And no one seems to think it's anything unusual.
On the other side, there's the park itself is huge, and you can fish there. They're supposedly, I forget what the lake is called. I don't remember the name, but they're supposed to have very good fishing for bass. And yeah, we were just sitting on the wall, and I think you spotted it. You looked over and you went, Nancy, and we looked down. There was an 8-foot alligator.
There's not a ton to do. It's one of those things you get down and you just walk around.
Yeah, it's just pretty. I mean, and then in that area, because we walked around, we saw that monument with all the.
Yeah, what is that?
From every state. I forget the name of it now.
And there was some from other countries too. I'm not sure what the criteria is for having the plaque up there that lists your town or your state, but yeah. But yeah, so
and they have little restaurants and stuff like that, you know.
Those you got to walk off the park.
You
the park itself, there wasn't a lot going on. They had actually 2 baby showers. Remember?
Yeah, they had 2 baby showers because you can rent. They're huge too. These little
rent an area.
Yeah, they had several areas where you can rent. What do you call rent? What do they call just a little like a?
Well, it was a bandstand, but I don't know the area. I don't know what the area was that you could rent. You're right. Next thing on our list of free things to do in Florida, Billy brought this up earlier. Yeah. Is Disney Springs.
Oh yeah, Disney
great
Springs.
Place to go. It's hard to believe with Disney, but there's 4 parking garages for free.
Yeah,
that are right next to it. You can walk right into Disney Springs.
Yep.
Plenty to look at.
Oh yeah,
plenty place to eat, to drink. Free entertainment, usually in 2 different places on Disney Springs. Jimmy went there just recently for the is it Gaglin Rose? Is that how you pronounce that? The Irish place.
Raglan Road.
Raglan. I'm sorry. What did I say, Gaglin?
I'll correct him.
If I don't have my notes written down. Yes, and that was that's where they do the Irish step dancing. Yeah, stuff like that. So that was cool.
I just saw some Irish step dancing from our local theater and our local college. There's a dance company at our local university where we live, and they performed at the local theater, which is about 15 minutes away from here, and they did the Irish step dancing. They were fabulous. I really enjoy watching Irish step dancing.
Well, no, I didn't even thought about that. Billy says free NASA rocket launches. We saw 5 rocket launches from our hotel.
I didn't think of that
March
too.
Resort.
Yeah.
And that's a huge one.
That's huge. Yeah, we love that. That was really impressive seeing that.
Very good, Captain.
Good call.
You can't see any of those, probably a dumb question, from over your way though, right, Captain? I mean, that's just way tue far over, I imagine. Yeah, okay, it's too far away. Billy said for the rocket launch from where he is.
Yeah, that was really cool seeing that. I was so impressed.
Okay, so the next thing, this is free things to do in Florida. If you have any suggestions, please throw them up in the chat, is City Walk.
City Walk, yeah.
Which we haven't done for 10 years.
I know, we've done it, but not for 10 years.
Now, this is a deceiving free thing to do because they charge you for parking. I think it's $30 up until 6 o'clock because they're trying to nail all the people going to the theme
So you got to go, for it to be free, you got to go after 6.
So if you go after 6 and you're just looking for something to do, I guess walk around and see what's going on. After 6, you can do it.
Right.
And we haven't done it in 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Who did that? We were up there and they had done City Walk.
They said it was too crowded. From home, came down to Florida and we hooked up with them and they did the City Walk, but they said it was really crowded.
Yeah, they weren't really impressed.
No.
It was crowded and basically it was overcrowded. That was the biggest thing.
They didn't like it was too crowded. But you know, it's free if you go after 6, you can just check it out.
Right. The couple more here. The next one is Citrus Place, Claremont. This is kind of an out of the way tourist thing that we only found it because we're going from Kissimmee to Helen, Georgia.
No, we're going to.
No, it's going to Helen, Georgia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're right.
And that's the only reason we found it. Whatever route we took there.
Yes. That's
very unusual place. It's got the huge wheeled Jeeps or trucks that you can take a tour.
Yeah, big monster trucks.
Citrus, there's citrus trees everywhere. I assume they let you pick this stuff. There's a little petting zoo with some odd things like an ostrich, which you don't expect to see in a petting zoo.
Know.
And then the main place has a lot of novelty kind of gifts, and also the bar there. It's just a lot of strange, different things.
Yeah, it was a really cute place. Yeah.
Jimmy says he's been to City Walk. It's okay, but I agree with the captain. I can't disagree with that they like Disney Springs better.
Oh, yeah.
Disney Springs is just so relaxing.
Oh, I love Disney Springs, yeah. We've been there quite a few times when we were in Florida this winter.
Last two. This is a general thing. There are 3 spots we heard of to go manatee watching.
Yeah, we didn't get to do
I
that.
don't think there's I know the Blue Springs one. There's a charge for the car, but the one we went to over on Cocoa Beach,
we didn't
there
get
was no
charged.
charge
That
then.
was a long time
Right.
ago.
So who
We
knows
don't
if they're
know.
charging now?
Right.
And there's another place over on the Gulf Coast. So there's 3 places that we've heard of to go watch manatees, and I guess they're especially visible during the winter months when we're there. So that might be something we'll have to put in our plans for next year.
Yeah, next year I hope we can do that.
The last one we have is the Triple B Ranch. Have not done this.
No.
Have heard from several people, and we were thinking of doing it. It's basically a place you go and it's an old beef ranch, I think, from what they told me, and it's got several nature trails.
Yeah,
to go right along the water, and you do see a lot of decent wildlife.
that's what our friend said. Yeah, that went there.
That's something we want to partake. I don't know if
Yeah, I
anyone's
tried
walked that.
Okay, the answers to our trivia question. True or false? The North Pole has land. False. There is no land on the North Pole, only ice on top of the sea.
Very interesting.
All the horns on Disney Cruise Line ships play the first note of what song? When You Wish Upon a Star.
I knew that one.
And how many happy haunts or ghosts inhabit the Haunted Mansion? I know you know this one. It's 999.
That's right. 9. Do you want to be the 1,000th? I used to say. Thank you, Nancy.
Alrighty.
Thanks for coming to J&N Travels Podcast.